Alright guys, we have hit mid-July, which means time to get the choppers ready for our fall run. I'll go over that guy in a minute. Let's start with the 770 Plus. This head goes to the 8700. The one that goes on that machine there is just called a 770. Very minor differences. Drums turn different. There is no gearbox there. And there's different set of mounts. But to get into this, so first thing we did, drain the gearboxes of all their oil. I do believe there's 11 different gearboxes on here, if I'm counting right. Yeah. No metal, so gearboxes are good. Hopefully they'll hold up for the year. Step number 2, new sets of knives. These babies, once they get dull, they don't want to cut nothing. Next step, new cleaners for the knives. They ran out whenever they were putting the knives on, or blades on. I'll call them knives or blades. Sorry if that gets confusing. But they ran out of cleaners when they were putting them on, so we had to wait till we got some new ones. The way the cleaners work, they bolt up on the bottom side just like that. So they stick down almost an inch. And what they do is they clean all the crop debris out from under there, because as debris builds up, these drums will start locking up. They each have their own independent slip clutch, and each half of the header has a slip clutch. So if you get residue building up, it starts turning hard, it'll trip the slip clutch, and it makes your day a nightmare. Next step on the header is going through and changing all the cleaners on the drums. So you'll have one each row, one on the bottom there. Same thing on all those. That'll take them a little while. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen a silage header. This looks a little bit different because there's none of these points that are laying on the ground. They're all on the ground instead of on the header. That is because they are over here getting welded up. You get a lot of residue flowing across them, or a lot of crop flow across them. It wears things out quickly. So Maddie has been welding, and Cody has been welding. You can see some patches to fill in holes. That guy is new. And then they're all upside down, so there's not a real good way to see them. All these points have been welded up quite a bit. All that is just normal wear and tear. You have to weld them up about every year, and then every couple of years you have to replace them. It's the way that it works. The last remaining project on this header then, once they get those done, is the slip clutches. Let's see if we can see them on this header. It would be right inside of here. There's a clutch here and a clutch here. You got to take them out, put in new pads on them. We know the left side of this head definitely is shot because we weren't able to finish the last field of harvest last year because of that. This one, the spout was falling off. You know, you guys, if you watched my spring prep, we had to change that transition tube. So I had to quit with about 15 acres left. Went back the next day with the 8700, got 5 or 6 acres cut off, and that clutch gave out. Because they're two different machines with two different attachment hookups, couldn't just cross header to chopper. It was done. So, choppers. 8700 is done and ready. We did major rebuild work on the rolls this spring, if you remember. So the only thing we had to do, new knives, and turn the shear bar over. Trying to think if there was anything else. This one, we haven't done a thing yet. We got it all opened up, got ready to get started on it, and the big chief said, hold off, we're looking at trading. The reason we're looking at trading is because this year is going to be a year of speed and efficiency for us. We've got 2 big feedlots that we cut for. Each of them wants 40,000 ton of silage. Because yields are down, we're going to have to cover a lot of acres in the same amount of time. So we can't afford the usual breakdowns. So we're looking at upgrading that to either another 8700 or jumping up to a 9800. One problem there, the two 9800s that we were looking at our dealer we always go through for choppers in central Kansas, they sold both of them this week. So it's a little complicated to say the least. But between the two big feedlots, our feedlot, a couple of small feedlots, and then all the local guys, we're gonna have to put up 100,000 ton of silage this fall. And the header for that guy is wore out. We've had that header since, well, when did we get the 7950? About 2010. So 10-year-old header. We're doing all this work on this guy. That's a 3-year-old header. So you can imagine what the 10-year-old one is. I know we've got 4 or 5 gearboxes that are leaking oil. It would be a major rebuild job. So hopefully within the week we have a little bit of clarity on that. So here's a new update on getting the silage choppers ready for fall harvest. 8700 10-row head, ready to go. This baby is field ready. Today is August the 4th. This chopper's ready. The 7980 has been traded. The new chopper should be here in a couple of days. As far as trucks go, we've got one that's been through truck shop, got everything ready to go on it. Number 2 just came back yesterday. Yeah, because it's there now. So yeah, we've got 2 back. So this afternoon we're probably going to hook up a 3rd one, get it in there so they can go through, you know, checking brakes, airlines, everything for a DOT inspection, getting them ready to go, field ready, highway safe. So there's a quick update. As soon as the other chopper gets here, I will do an update on that to wrap this video up for you guys. Hopefully by then the other trucks will be ready and we'll be ready to start chopping too. All right, fall silage update. I think this is the 3rd part of it. So the 8700 is just resting comfortably in that shed right there. Can't even hardly see it on here. We're working on the 98 now. Biggest thing is getting everything wired the way we want it. So we got to put in a CB radio or inoculant. Me personally, I got to put in my satellite radio. What else? I think that's all the pieces. So we've spent the day working on it today. We took the auto lube system that was right here off. It's for kernel processor. Since we're not planning on using the kernel processor, we went ahead and removed that, which also let us open up this panel, which let us access the back of the cab here. So now we've got our cables running through a hole that was already open. We weren't exactly happy to see that, but it is what it is. So we've got power going in for the inoculant system, the control wire coming out for the inoculant system, and the 3rd wire, the gray one, that is our CB antenna. So right now the stuff for the inoculant's just laid up there out of the way. CB antenna, we've got to attach it to a rail underneath here. But then as you can see, we've got it coming up, got it mounted right there. We've had trouble with the 8700 trying to mount it on that rail on the back of the cab for 2 reasons. One, we're so high it hits on lower power lines. And 2, since the cab seems to have so much flex in it, it's almost like it doesn't get a good ground on that wire. I don't know. Oh, this door is open. So in here you can see we got wires kind of strung everywhere. I was just kind of zip tying some mounts in place, trying to figure out where I want to put stuff. I'm one of those guys, I hate looking at wires just hanging everywhere. Drives me nuts. And then you can see by this window and that window, that's oil. We found out playing with this the other day, the hydraulic fittings back there for the folding spout, there's either a loose fitting or an O-ring. We never made it back there today to check that problem out. So not a big problem. But yeah, so hopefully by tomorrow night this thing is about buttoned back up and ready. So we got to finish wiring in the CB, finish wiring in the inoculant, get it mounted because it'll go right here. Get satellite radio mounted, get the train horns mounted. Oh, I hear the truck. Cattle must be coming. We've got a semi-load and a pickup load of cattle coming from local auction barn. So anyways, what was I saying? CB mounted, inoculant mounted, tank mounted, air horns mounted. Kind of clean some things up, fix the oil leak. Talking with Dad, he's hoping Tuesday. Yeah, today's Thursday, or today's Wednesday. Kind of hoping by next Tuesday we can start finding places to chop. So we got to keep moving along with this. And one of the other little clips I was talking about getting our trucks through to get their DOT inspections. We've had 4 trucks and 3 silage trailers through. There's Maddie with the pickup load of cattle. There's Cameron coming behind me with the semi-load. Anyways, we've had 4 trucks, 3 silage trailers through. Well, I should say they're working on truck number 4 and silage trailer number 3. Actually, I think that's truck number 5. Yeah, that's truck number 5, silage trailer number 3. Because we went ahead and had the ones that were hooked up to flatbeds for moving bales, just take the flatbeds in and do them. Hang on, notice that's pretty dirty. Alright, so the next step is to take silage trailer number 4 through, get the trucks matched up to their trailers so everything's ready to go. And then check them for oil changes, air filters, make sure all that stuff's ready. But yeah, sounds like about 5 days we're gonna start dipping our toe in. We'll see how it goes. So with that, I'll talk to you guys on the next update. What's up? All right, next update on getting choppers ready. So as you can see there, got the CB mounted, inoculant mounted, satellite radio, wires all hidden away nice and neat. Got the train horns hooked up, supplied into the air. There is the meter for the inoculant. Oil leak is fixed. What else? Oh, the other real nice one. There is an air hookup right there. That's going to be kind of nice. Now I'll run you guys inside real quick, show you what we got going on the new fuel trailer. Alright, so the new fuel trailer. Today, we went and got a spare tire. So that way that's ready. Oh, shut that hose in the... Big thing we're having to do though, get us a water tank put in here for our inoculant. So we found 50-gallon tank. That'll supply both choppers for a day. Got the plumbing put in it, weighed down a few parts. Got a little water pump put in, hardwired in, all the electric. This fuel trailer, the wiring harness has a hookup over there. I don't think the camera can see it. There's a hookup over there for an oil pump. Well, since this didn't have it, there was just wires going to nothing, so we tied into that. Bart got this handy dandy little switch. So we are set up and ready. That is going to be super handy. So that's what's going on there as far as the trucks go. I believe in the last video I had told you guys our 4th trailer, silage trailer, headed to the truck shop to get worked on. Now we're bringing them all through here. We got the first truck through here, oil changed, as you can see. Oil changed, hydraulic oil filter changed, fuel filters, air filter, greased front to back, adjusted the chains, fueled up. That truck is 100% ready to go. Today's Friday, so I doubt we'll mess with one tomorrow just because we're not in a hurry yet. So Monday, hopefully we can get another one through. So by the end of next week, if we're not chopping by then, we should have all 4 trucks hooked up, fueled up, ready to roll as soon as we find a field that's dry enough. Because we're kind of itching to get started. It's just a matter of finding something that's dry enough so you don't pay a huge loss from the moisture being too high. No different than guys combining corn. If your moisture's high, you get docked lots of money. If your silage is too wet, you get docked lots of money. Makes it kind of a lose-lose situation for everyone. So there's the latest update. We're ready to roll pretty much. All right, so let's finish up this chopper update. Getting ready for fall silage. So 98's ready to go. 87, we just got to switch the heads, but that one's ready to go. Which that one will start cutting tomorrow, which tomorrow's Thursday. That one over there we'll start cutting Friday. We got a couple of fields, just kind of run through everything, make sure everything's good to go, and then we're ready to roll. Fuel trailer. DEF is filled, diesel's filled, water pump primed in, got about 50 gallon, we got a hose here, just clip it on, go. Think it'll work all right. So, and the back compartment is still empty. Knowing us, it's going to be one of those last minute, just throw a whole bunch of random stuff in there because we haven't decided on exactly how we want that set up. So let's run back over to the shop real quick and I'll go over the trucks. Alright, so let's talk silage trucks. Those three right there. They're all matched up to their trailers, greased, oil changed, everything is ready to go. Truck number 4, it is ready to go. It's still just sitting there because right before everyone left, they washed out the radiator. So letting it drip dry. And then last of all, the A360 hooked up to the 29-foot VT. We use that to disc ends, makes everything a lot smoother on all the equipment, makes everything flow nice. So, with that, we're ready. Like I said in the last clip, today's Wednesday. Glenn's got a 30-acre patch he's going to chop tomorrow with just a couple of our trucks, make sure he's ready. Friday, I've got a half a circle that's going to a neighbor. It's a neighbor's field going to a different neighbor. I'm going to knock it out with our trucks plus a couple of custom guys so they can make sure they're ready. And then Monday, harvest begins. So, we'll see how this goes.